check or money order, or use your credit card.
This is CNN.
Is Wall Street on the road to recovery after Friday's plunge, or still stuck in a downward spiral?
Two more Western hostages, one American, one Briton, reportedly are being freed in Lebanon. Welcome to NewsHour. I'm Reid Collins in Washington.
And I'm Bobbie Battista at CNN Center in Atlanta. It is now official. The United Nations has just confirmed that British hostage Terry Waite and U.S. hostage Thomas Sutherland are free. The Islamic Jihad, the pro-Iranian group holding Waite and Sutherland in Lebanon, promised their release today. But until now, it was unclear whether they were in fact free. Thomas Sutherland is 60 years old and was working as a professor at the American University of Beirut when he was kidnapped in June of 1985. His family lives in Fort Collins, Colorado. Briton Terry Waite is an Anglican church envoy. He was kidnapped in January of 1987. The religious leader was on a mission to negotiate the release of other hostages when he was abducted. We will have more on this hostage story in just a few moments.
We'll be keeping up with the hostage story, as Bobbie says, and we'll bring you any late developments, particularly when they first have been seen by Western eyes in Damascus. Well, burned on Friday and shy on Monday, the U.S. stock market's trying to digest the big fall of last Friday. Latest now from CNN's Beverly Schuch, who's with us live at the New York Stock Exchange. Beverly?
Thank you, Reid. Trading volume is very heavy today, but the markets seem to have stabilized. As the world watched this morning, the Dow Industrials opened with gusto, soaring 23 points at the opening bell, before some profit takers quickly moved in and raced that gain into a minus 11 points. But for the past couple of hours, the Dow Jones Industrials, a key indicator of investor mood, has been positive. And right now, the blue chip stocks are up about 13 points. At 29.56, that volume, as you can see, is heavy. 136 million shares have traded so far. The Dow is being led higher by blue chip leader IBM, which is up 1 1/8 points. Merck, which was a big loser on Friday, is now again up also 1 1/2 points. Decliners, however, over advancers by a 5-2 margin. For every 2 stocks being bought, 5 are being sold. And the airline stocks are basically lower. UAL is down 2 1/4. The high-flying biotech issues mostly lower as well after a huge sell-off on Friday. Now, some traders say that that large volume is due to investor confusion. Investors want to be in the market if it is going to rally, but they want to be able to liquidate quickly if the market starts turning sour. The broader and secondary markets have turned mixed, and right now the S&P 500 is up 3/4 of a point. But analysts say rather that the over-the-counter stocks are the key for a successful rally, and they have not been up all morning. Right now, the OTC index is down 2 points. It had been down more than 5 points earlier. I'm a little hoarse from shouting over the elevated level of excitement down on the trading floor today. Recapping once again, the Dow Industrials are leading the market higher. Right now, they are up 13 points. We'll be back with another update in about a half an hour. I'm Beverly Schuch, live at the New York Stock Exchange.
One of those Western hostages reportedly released today and en route to Damascus now is the American Thomas Sutherland, an agricultural college instructor at the American University in Beirut. CNN's Mark Leff has prepared a background on this hostage.
People all over the world know Tom Sutherland, students, friends, wife and family in the United States, brothers and sisters in his native Scotland, and former fellow prisoners in Beirut.
Tom is like a brother for me.
Sutherland was born in a farmhouse north of Glasgow, left his brothers and sisters behind when he moved to the United States to study, to teach, to marry, and to become a citizen. His work in veterinary science and agriculture took him to a number of countries, including Lebanon, where he took a job in 1983 running the American University School of Agriculture. In June 1985, on the road that links Beirut Airport to the capital, gunmen stopped the car that had picked up Sutherland, who was just back from a trip to the U.S. Later, the Islamic Jihad, the group that also claims to hold journalist Terry Anderson, offered to trade Sutherland for the 17 people jailed in Kuwait for attacks on diplomatic targets there. Kuwait said no deal, and Sutherland's American family, wife Jean and 3 daughters, began their own ordeal.
I remember Mom saying, Oh, the most important days are the first 3 to 5 days, and it will happen soon. And I remember asking her if it was going to be a year. And
other than a signature on one letter from his captors and 2 written threats in 1988, there was little public word about Sutherland for more than 6 years. The released hostage Benjamin Weir brought a private letter to the Sutherland family indicating that Thomas was in good spirits after 3 months in captivity. And fellow university employee and hostage David Jacobson said much the same when he was released the next year. But there have been other reports that Sutherland tried at least once to kill himself.
We have to work to find some kind of comprehensive resolution of those conflict issues so that there will be something other than hostages.
At one point, Church of England negotiator Terry Waite thought he was close to doing a deal.
2 people specifically in my sights, Terry Anderson and Tom Sutherland.
But Waite himself became a hostage. French journalist Jean-Paul Kaufmann, a hostage for 3 years, told Sutherland's family in Scotland he shared a room for 3 months with Sutherland and learned English from him. A British artist recreated Kaufmann's words in pictures. The 2, he said, were chained and often blindfolded and had only a French Bible to read.
The most terrible is not a chain, no light, no sun, no trees. It's not the most terrible. The most terrible is le sentiment to be abandoned, to be forgotten. It's impossible to resist indefinitely.
Throughout Tom Sutherland's captivity, there were public ceremonies for him, and it's believed private negotiations for his release. His brothers and sisters in Scotland have grown older without him. His family and friends in the United States have grown more determined.
My job is to be the daughter of a hostage and hope that there's something that I can do. And so we just continue and really stay positive and know that there is a time that this will all come to an end.
Messages like that apparently were getting through to Sutherland. In early October, fellow hostage Terry Anderson said from captivity that Sutherland had heard his wife and daughter on the radio and couldn't stop talking about it. Anderson said Sutherland wanted to return to the American University of Beirut.
Thomas looking forward to getting back to AUB. We're going to work again as the dean. After 6 years with him, I can tell you I don't think he should be the dean. I think he should probably be the president.
Beirut has changed since Tom Sutherland became a hostage, and now that he's free, Sutherland may have changed too. Mark Leff, CNN, reporting.
Later this hour, we'll have a similar report on Britain's Terry Waite, the other hostage released today. We are also expecting to hear live from British Prime Minister John Major on the releases later on this hour. Still ahead, the rape trial of William Kennedy Smith and how it is expected to become a showcase of famous faces. When discrimination at the workplace hits home, charges that more and more businesses are discriminating against pregnant women. Also ahead, drugs for heart patients that often do more harm than good. And the trump card for Ivana, a calling card from an Italian suitor.
But my cat's healthy. Should I be concerned?
Is a cat's urinary tract health important?
Don't overlook cat's urinary tract health. Introducing new Cat Chow Special Care brand cat food from Purina, specially formulated to help maintain a cat's urinary tract.